Hey guys, okay, so this is your practical exercise 2, and in this we are going to write a program that does the following. So it will get a lawn width and lawn length in meters as provided by the user. It determines the weekly lawn mowing fee depending on the lawn's area. Okay, so that gives you a, um, already a huge hint that you are going to have to calculate an area of a lawn. Okay. Okay, let's go on. 250 Rand for a lawn smaller than 400 square meters. Okay, so that's one if statement that you can actually see, smaller than. Okay, 350 for a lawn with area from 400 to 600 square meters. So that's going to be between 400 and 600, including 400 and 600. Okay, but I'll show you that now. Then lastly, 500 Rand for a lawn larger than 600 square meters. So that's going to be your if statements. You can already see it the way they ask you this. Excuse me. So then, point 3. Okay, so it determines the transport fee depending on where the user lives. Okay, Pretoria East 50 Rand, Pretoria West and North 100 Rand, and then finally Centurion 80 Rand. So by this, guys, you can already see that it's going to be declared as constants because these values are never going to change. Okay, then that being said, it will or it should be displaying the lawn mowing fee, the total lawn mowing fee, including the transport fee, which was the Pretoria East, West, North, and Centurion fees, and then finally the total fee for a 20-week season. Because remember, we said it's a weekly lawn mowing fee. Okay, cool, guys. So with this information, we can already see that we are going to do or we have to declare variables for width, for length. Okay, so those are two. Okay, guys, and this is going to be doubles because it's not going to be integers, it's going to be double values because it might have decimal values. Okay, cool. Then no, this is going to be if statements. I think all of these are going to be if statements. Okay, then these are constant integers. Okay, because they are never going to change. So it's important so that you can. It's important, um, and that's the reason I'm doing this now is running through your declaration of your variables and everything. Because if you see a question like this or a practical, you must be able to identify what variables you are going to declare in order to actually run this program and run it correctly. Okay, and what you're going to use and what you're going to need to do calculations, and if it's going to be a double or an integer or whatever. Okay, cool. Then lastly, it displays the lawn mowing fee. Okay, cool. So you can immediately see lawn mowing fee is also going to be a variable. Total lawn mowing fee, including the transport fee, is also going to be a variable. And then obviously a total fee is also going to be a variable. So roughly you can see like between 8 or 9 variables already just from the question, and I haven't even started coding it. So let's head to that. Let's go to that, and then let's start coding. Cool. So this is going to be the form which I already created for you just to save time. I'm gonna I'm not gonna rush through this video, but it's gonna be I have to speed it up a bit for you guys not having to buffer or stream a very long or lengthy video, and also to save some internet cap as well. All right, cool. So as you can see, please provide your lawn width and length in meters. Be careful with that. It must be meters, otherwise your calculations are going to be wrong. Then a label, text box, okay. Name, text width, and then length is obviously going to be text length. And then your area, okay, which consists of 4 radio buttons: Pretoria East, West, North, and Centurion. Okay, and this is going to be PTA East radio, then PTA West radio, radio for radio button, of course, then PTA North radio, and then Centurion Cent Red. Okay, so remember, West and North is going to they consist of the same transportation fee. All right, cool. Then obviously a button to calculate the price, and then a fee breakdown. As you can remember, we have a mowing fee, a mowing and transport fee, and a seasonal charge. This is read-only text boxes, guys. So remember that for future reference when we are going to code. When we run this program, this will be grayed out so that you can't change the fees here. So this is strictly carried from your calculated fees or calculations, as I can, if I can say that, yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go into the code. As you can see, I already put on a skeleton again, just to save you guys some time and cap. So let's start to declare the variables. This is the most important part for me personally. Okay, so we are going to use double, the data type double for width and length, because as I said, it can be a decimal value. It's not necessarily on the dot 4 or 8 or 12 meters by 10 meters. It can be, but then it's 12.00 if it's a double. Okay, but we want to be able to cater for that as well, for decimal numbers. Okay, cool. Then the next variable is mowing volume, or it can be anything, mowing area, as long as you understand that this variable is meant for the calculation for the area of the lawn. Okay, and then after that it's int, and then mowing fee, and then I'm gonna initialize this by setting it to 0. Okay, I'm gonna explain this in later in the code, but this is very important. It's kind of necessary, but also not necessary in a way. But we want to teach you good coding standards, so I'm gonna show you this now. All right. Okay. While I was talking now, this was the next three variables: the mowing fee, total mowing fee, seasonal price. So if I go back to here, then you can see mowing fee, total mowing fee, and then obviously your seasonal price. Okay, cool. So now you understand how I get to these three variables, including these, but mainly these. Okay. Okay, cool. Those are then your basic variables. Okay, cool. Now we move over to the constants. Okay, so we're gonna have const. Okay, int bta east. Okay, always, guys, remember it should be capital letters for constants. We are checking you guys up on that. It's just for you also to know what's constants and what's normal variables. Okay, cool. And then if you can remember, the Pretoria East delivery fee is, or transportation fee rather, is 50 Rand. Then we move over to the next constants is const int, and then PTA west and north. Okay, and those are going to be all going for 100. Okay, cool. The reason I don't declare west and north is both have the same amount. So why do you want to declare exactly the two same constants if you're going to use it for the same purpose? So that's why I did this. Okay, so you can use that one for both west and north. It's not going to double or do any weird stuff. So you can do that if it has the same value and it's going to use the same value throughout the program. Okay, cool. Let's continue. Then Centurion is going for 80 bucks for your transportation fees. Okay, cool. And as I said or guessed, 8 variables, 8 or 9. Brilliant. We have 8. So that's basically it. All right. As you can see, I have put a comment in, and as you can see, there's comments everywhere, guys. Again, comments, they are very important. We are actually checking for comments in class tests, practicals, semester tests, any revision tests. We want you guys to start commenting on everything you do because we want to see if you understand the program. All right, that being said, let's continue. Now we want to get the width which the user provides on the form inside or into the width text box. Okay, so important again, we're going to convert this because it's taken from a text box which is associated with data type of string. Okay, cool. So we're going to say to double because it's declared as a double. And we're going to say text width dot text. Okay, and then cool. That's it for width. Okay. then length equals convert dot to double, as I previously explained. It's the length variable is declared as a double, so we need to convert it to a double from a string. Okay, cool. That is no, length dot text, and that's it. That is how you get the values to be able to calculate the volume, or rather area. Okay, cool. Okay, so then we are going to use the mowing area equals, and then what we have here, width times length, and that's a simple calculation for calculating the area. So you take those values that you got from the user and you multiply it with each other in order to get the mowing area, which was declared here. Okay, so that's simple, guys. Alright, then as you can see, I already did this part, so you now need to always, before I continue, always remember to save up, guys. If you don't save, you're going to cry long tears, and we don't want that. Alright, back to the coding. Alright, so if you can see on the form here, if you double click on this, or if you click when the program is running now, we're going to test this later, but if you click on the button, you had to choose one of these four, okay? Because it's part of the fee, and if you don't validate this, we're not going to do validation in this program now, then it's based on this, it's going to give you a calculation here. So you need to tick something here, okay? And for this, you need to check what is actually what radio button is actually selected. So for that, you need if statements, or decision statements, but I like to call it if statements. It's basically an if statement. But anyways, in that if statements, or in those if statements, you need to specify which one is selected, and inside those if statements, you need to go and see, okay, cool, says Pretoria East plus 50 Rand. Okay, cool, it's West plus 100, North 100, Centurion 80. Okay, let's go back to the code. So as you can see, I now want to see if the Pretoria East radio button is actually selected. Okay, so just basic simple, if Pretoria East dot checked, okay, you can actually also say there equals true. That can also work, but in this case I just said dot checked. Okay, cool. So now, as you can read my comment, which is also very important, check to see if the volume is smaller than 400 square feet. Okay, so if you can remember, 400 square feet, 250 Rand for a lawn. So based on your mowing area, you need to go and check whether or not it's less than 400, between 400 and 600, or larger than 600. Okay, cool. So let's quickly do that. Okay, so this one is going to be PTA is no, sorry guys, no, that's not right. Just want to see something here. Okay, so that is going to be mowing area is less than is mowing area less than 400. So the mowing area that you calculated, is it less than 400? Okay, cool. Now, if it is less than 400, then your mowing fee is going to be 250 Rand. Okay, so if this statement is true, everything that happens inside these two brackets must occur, or must be processed. Every line of code must happen. If this statement is true, then we go inside. If that statement is true, then we do this. Okay, so that's basically how these nested if statements work. Alright, so then I'm going to total mowing. Okay, I think that's going to be 250 plus PTA East. Okay, so why I'm saying PTA East is because this total mowing is including your transportation fees as well. Okay, and then lastly, you want your seasonal price also to be calculated. and that is total mowing, and then obviously not plus, times 20 because it's for 20 weeks. Okay, and that's it for less than 400. Okay, moving on, if it's between 400 and 600, now we just say mowing if the mowing area is smaller or equal to 400. Okay, and no, it's bigger, sorry, bigger or equals larger, or what's it called, larger or equals, yes, and then smaller or equals to 600. Okay, cool, sorry about that, guys. Okay, that is mowing area. Okay, cool. So if that is true, so 400 is included inside this whole, it's like an area between 400 and 600. So if it falls between those two numbers, including 400 and 600, then this will happen. Mowing fee equals to 250, yes, no, 350, sorry, because it differs. So you can see 250 for 400, 350 between 400 and 600, and 500 for larger than 600. Okay, cool. So the mowing fee is 350. Total mowing, that should actually be named total mowing fee. Total mowing is not a very well named variable, but okay, let's continue. So 350 plus and then PTA East. Okay, because we are still checking if PTA East radio button is checked. So every time the transportation is going to be added, it's going to be PTA East within this if statement. Okay, cool. Then your seasonal price is equals to your total mowing times 20 because it's 20 weeks. Okay. Alright guys, and then lastly, it's to see if it's larger than 600. Okay, so basically you don't need a else if here, but I like to put an else if there because it just makes me feel better, and just being safe, you know. Okay, but otherwise you could have just said else, because if it's less than 400, yes, cool. If it's between those two, and if it's neither of these two, then it's obvious that it's more than 600. You're not gonna have a lawn area that's less than 0. So let's be practical now, guys. Alright, so as I said, I like to do the if else if just to make sure that it works and everything. You don't have to, but I like to do it. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Mowing area is larger than 600. Okay, cool. Then mowing fee equals 500 because it's larger than 600. Okay, then your total mowing equals 500 plus PTA East, which is your constant, and it's never going to change, guys. Always remember that. Okay, total mowing times 20. Okay, so these are your calculations for every if statement. Okay, so to get back to the output, to get, no, sorry, to get back to these, I said that I'm going to explain this to you as well. Okay, why is this? Is the sound but never used? Okay, so that's fine. It is used, so I don't know why Visual Studio is giving me this. Anyways, okay, so why this is declared or initialized and set to 0 is because we don't want it's exactly it's the fee or the variable only changes within each if statement. So if you go into this if statement and it's true, it's going to ignore these two. So it's basically as if you are going to delete that. Okay, if this statement is true. Okay, so now I'm putting it back because we need it. Okay, so to explain it in a way, you can say that you declare it outside the if statement, doing something with it inside the if statement, and then outside of the if statement again putting an output, because it's going to be redundant, guys, to every time say or put your output inside every if statement. Okay, so in this case we use it in order to, sorry, I just need to make the code neat. Okay, so in this case we do it because outside every if statement the variable is being stored or set to a certain value, and if you go outside the if, then you can use that value, but only if you initialize it properly. If you're going to initialize it properly, I'll show you, you're going to get an error saying that the variable that you declared is unassigned, and that's why you need to assign a value of 0 and then just assign within each and every if statement that you have here a new value to that variable, and then you can use it. Okay, and then in that case then you can use then you can say, okay, cool, so we want the output now, so text mowing fee dot text, which is the text box name, equals mowing fee dot to string. Okay, so I'm saying dot to string because it's basically the exact same thing as saying convert dot to string and then putting in mowing fee. That is, guys, this and this is exactly the same thing. You don't need to put anything there because it's going to give you errors. Okay, see, okay, cool. Alright, so just make sure that you understand this, that converting to dot string and then putting the variable in is exactly the same as this. So it's going to have the same effect on mowing fee, on the mowing fee variable. Okay, moving on. Then we want the total mowing fee, so that's going to be this one dot text equals. Okay, then we say total mowing, which should be total mowing fee, but yeah, okay, that's fine. As long as you understand, guys, then I'm happy. Okay, cool. Then you say text txt seasonal charge, yes, dot text equals seasonal price dot to string. Cool. So guys, I'm converting this to string because I want the prices to be shown in all of these text boxes, and a text box is only associated with data type string. So that's why we need to convert what is a double back to a string in order to show it inside a text box. Okay, cool. That was the first one. That was Pretoria East radio button. For the purposes of this video, this is basically just what I wanted to explain to you. As you can see, I commented everything out because it's literally the same. So I'm going to comment this out again and then show you what I did. Okay, this is not necessary. Okay, that should go away. Okay, no. Okay, so I declared this wrong. Okay, so that should be area. That should be not that. That should be that. Okay, so as you can see, everything changed now. And let's just change this quickly. Okay, fee. Okay. So by now you can more or less see that except for the variables I'm quickly changing to what I declared it to, it's basically repetitive. That's the thing about if statements. We don't mind you guys to copy and paste it as long as you understand why you can copy and paste it and what you're going to do to change the logic of every if statement. As I am going to explain to you guys now, I just need to fix this quickly. It's a lot of errors. Okay, cool. Clean. Sweet. Okay, so as you can see, we did the Pretoria East radio button. Now what I did is I went and did this. Okay, so Pretoria West and North, because they both have the same fee, the transportation fee. So I figured, okay, cool, why don't you use both of those radio buttons and just use OR between the two radio buttons. So if you want to check this if statement, is the west radio button checked? No. Okay. Is this checked? Yes. Okay, cool. Let's go inside this if statement and check what else there is that we need to process. Other way around, is this one checked? Yes. Okay, cool. Then it doesn't matter if this one is not checked or not, because you can only check one radio button at a time. And that's also a reason why it's OR. It can't be AND, because you can't choose or tick more than one radio button per form. Always remember that guys as well. That as well, guys. Because if you want to if you actually want to select more than one control in terms of selection controls, a checkbox is used to select multiple options. A radio button is only a singular selection. Okay, cool. That said, you can see that the first if statement, the second if statement, the third one, and then obviously the output is precisely the same, guys. It's exactly the same. And you need to note that the Pretoria East, the transportation constants, is going to differ, because now we check for different radio buttons which has different transportation fees, and these are constants and it can't change, so you need to make sure that this is properly changed. Okay, cool. That being said, the output I already also explained. You can use it outside the if statements, given that you declared it properly and initialized it while declaring your variables. So going down back again, sorry, east, west. So you can do this for both, having an OR operator between the two. And then lastly, we have Centurion. So this is basically exactly like the very first one we did. So is the radio button checked? Like here, is it checked? Yes. If it's true, then we go in. Okay, cool. Is the mowing area less than 400? Yes. Okay, cool. Assign and do all this processing in order to assign values to these variables. And then in the end, if that was true, then we can assign those values that we actually calculated and put into these variables. We can display it in the text boxes. Okay, so as you can see here, also important to note, guys, is Centurion constant is being used here because it's for Centurion and it's checking if the Centurion radio button is checked. Okay, so you obviously want to see what's going to happen if I run this program. Hopefully it's going to work. So let's quickly test it for you guys just to see. Okay, so the lawn width and length, let's just make it 100 to see if it's going to be less than 400. Okay, cool. Testing Pretoria East, it's going to be the same. So let's take Pretoria East and I say calculate price. So the price is going to be, this mowing fee is going to be 250 because it's less than 400. 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, cool. Total mowing fee, so this one, mowing fee and transportation fee, it's going to be 250 plus 50 because Pretoria East is set to 50 Rand. Okay, cool. Then, lastly, the seasonal charge is going to be this times 20, as you can see. So seasonal price is going to be everything, including the transportation fee and the less than, or the mowing area, the normal cuts size and the price. So that's including everything. Okay, cutting, transportation, everything. And then you just times it by 20. Let's go back to the code. And then, as I said, I'm not sure what this is going to be, but this is going to be 250, 300, and then 300 times 20. Okay, cool. Cool, so it's 6,000, yes, okay. Okay guys, so now you can see how it works and everything. And as you note, it's not set to being enabled, meaning you can't do anything with this, clicking, dragging, anything. So this is for the user only for output purposes and not being able to change it like this, or rather that. Okay. Okay guys, so that was it for Practical 4. Yeah, well done. Cool. Thank you guys. Cheers.